This is Crenshaw, Briggs and VT. We want the touchdown, we not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.
The tickets for the Miami Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs there in Frankfurt, Germany, sold out in 15 minutes. Paul, I'll kick it off for you again. Are you surprised or?
I'm not surprised because if you got money and you want to go to Germany, I guess this is a fun American way to spend your time overseas. I just hate that there's games overseas. This is supposed to be played in the United States of America. Sorry to sound like a xenophobe or something like that, but come on. We're playing in Germany. We're playing in England, and it seems like every single year we're playing more and more games overseas. Here's the deal. It might actually make sense to play games in Mexico. It might actually make sense to play games in Toronto. Say you want to expand northward or southward to Mexico City or something like that. People are not going to love the NFL overseas the way that we want them to. Sure, there are tons of people stationed across the world that are a part of the United States military. I know there's a lot in Germany and in other places, but I think personally that every single team should get to play all of their games in their home stadium, except maybe the Jaguars, because it's kind of funny that they have to play 2 games in England. But yeah, I'm just bummed out that it seems like one more game every single year is being played out there, and I'm like, this is our game. Why do we have to export it?
I think me and BT agree with you 110%. BT, what do you think?
Paul, this is where I'm going to say I love you, man. I love you, man, because this is what I've been saying forever, and I get so much flack about this. I think it is completely stupid that we keep expanding. I understand the financial reason, but the whole point is that it's American football, and the whole thing is we'll always be second fiddle to soccer everywhere else, right? So to me, the biggest issue is that the NFL is basically the football league where you get the best of the performances. There is no other league in the world where you're going to see better football played. When you have to go internationally, you are getting second part football because traveling is hard. Then you have conditioning. Then you have practices. You have all of these things that you have to go 14 hours here. You are not getting the best football. And every time you increase it, you're getting worse and worse football. It's not just limiting our chances here to see games. It's already expensive. The tickets are already crazy expensive. So now you're limiting the options for people that live here to actually see the games. Now you're actually also watching worse football. It doesn't make any sense to me from a fan perspective, but I understand the financial perspective. You have pretty much maxed out the American market, right? You have more than half of America watching it, so you're not going to get more. So the only way to expand is internationally. Financial perspective, I get it. I think that the article that talked about was Florio that really posed this question, which I'll ask all of you, which is, do you think that there will be an actual home, like a team that's actually based out of Germany? Because everyone's talking about London, but Germany seems to love football way more than even London. And I unfortunately could see a team being based out of Germany. And how much would you hate it? That's my question.
Paul, I'll let you answer that one first. What do you think?
Well, I'd really hate it a lot. I mean, part of it's because I just think about my grandfather who fought in World War II and how pissed off he would be. This longshoreman who worked on the docks in Philadelphia, he would be rolling over in his grave right now over this. But again, at a different time, I think it's going to be really hard to pull that off because you're going to first off need to have a better means of transportation. And as far as I know, the Concorde, the plane that used to fly so quickly over the Atlantic Ocean, is not coming back anytime soon. You're going to need to have some sort of transportation like that, or at least other teams over there to make it, at least at this point in time, make sense logistically. Maybe it happens some point down the road, we figure out a better way to transport ourselves across the ocean. But I think for now, it would be an obstacle from that perspective. It would be an obstacle for whatever team is there to sign free agents. There's some players who would want to play over there, but are they going to want to stay there for a long period of time?
Right.
So I think those are factors. But does the NFL really care about stuff like that? To the point you were making just a moment ago, VT, it's like, hey, they don't really care about the fan that's going to a stadium anymore. They just don't. Like, they're forcing you to buy preseason games if you go to the regular season ticket route, and those games are a joke. They're just a joke. Now they've changed it so that this year games could be potentially flexed to a Thursday or a Saturday at the last minute. So if you're traveling, that screws you over. Or if you just decided that you were going to go to a game on Sunday and all of a sudden they move it up to Thursday, that's going to make it difficult for you. So the NFL often pisses in the direction of common sense, and they've come out without any on their pants every single time somehow. So I don't think it'll happen, but they've shocked us before.
Most definitely. Crenshaw, what about you? What's your thoughts on it and BT's question?
Yeah, basically, I mean, if any team go over there, it would be the Jaguars. But basically, what Paul said, transportation. That's what I was thinking about. So, the only thing I could think of, all the owners getting together and they share one plane, and each team take that one plane, which it sounds silly, but it'll save them money. That's something I could think of. But yeah, like free agents, they were like, man, Germany is cool to visit, but I don't want to live here, man. It's too far away from my family. Phone calls, the time difference is, I don't want all that. And then I don't like those Germany games because I don't get up that early to watch those games.
Same.
So that's why I don't like them.
Same.
I'm good with the 12 o'clock games, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm still asleep.
If Crenshaw, if someone flew me out to cover the game, I mean, I'd be so pumped because I'd finally get to go to Oktoberfest.
True.
But that's literally it. That's the only reason it would be worth going. And I don't want to pay for that. No, it's too expensive.
Yeah, and the hotel is going to be even more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's too much money. I mean, it's already a lot of money go to a domestic game. So
Right. Right.
I mean, Matt, I know you know, VT, I know you know what I'm saying? So that's too much, man.
Yeah, so here's my thoughts on it. Like Frankfurt is like Las Vegas 2.0. You're just missing Oktoberfest. You got a whole bunch of guys like under the age of 28 and under, and you expect them to behave, you know what I mean? So like that where I was like, man, that's just, you see what's happening in Vegas, you know, guys are getting arrested left and right. That's just, it's kind of look a recipe for disaster. So I maybe London, but I think Frankfurt would be a bad spot. Hopefully for our sake, because I don't, like Crenshaw said, I don't want to wake up until 7 o'clock just to get ready for football.
Yeah, that's not.
So yeah, so
I was on the West Coast.
People on the West Coast,
guys.
yes, it's worse for them. You eat cereal watching the game.
Oh, people on the West Coast will tell you that it's so great to get up early in the morning and watch football. And I'm like, you know what? It is kind of cool, but I'm sorry. I'm not a morning person. I do a show that's in the morning. I'm still not a morning person. I get up at 5. I'm pounding coffee, trying to wake up for hours and hours and hours. Now I gotta get up on the weekend early. Football, come on.
You not really in touch if you not tuning in. This is Crenshaw, Briggs and VT. We want the touchdown. We not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.